Yeah. Okay. Actually, now I'm kind of out of the frame. Okay, there we go.
Alright.
What up? So, welcome back. I know it's been longer than a week, as usual.
It's been 2 weeks.
Has been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay,
So it's been. We're doing better. We're trying.
We are
really
trying. We have obviously busy schedules because we're not making money off of this. At least I'm not.
I'm not. We don't have sponsors.
Yeah, no sponsors.
We should get sponsors.
Dude, I've been trying.
Really?
I actually tried to get a Trauma to sponsor us, as well as I've sent a couple of emails to Toe Tag Pictures that did the August Underground trilogy, which I'm sure some of our fans have heard of and such.
I kind of wish we'd get sponsored, but I think they're looking for views.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
tell your friends.
Yeah, spread the word. But I'm on horror pun there. Before we get started, let's talk about what we're going to do today, as we always do. We've got our top 5 list coming up, which I think this is going to be a fun one. This is a really fun one.
This one we could have fun with, like the freaking creepypastas one. I'm pretty sure if we dug into it deeper.
We could probably do a full episode on this, yeah. Obviously, we have our 4 reviews. Jay, what do you got going on?
I got House or Hustle. I almost want to say that's right, but I'm probably wrong.
Right. I believe it's right. From 1977.
And then I got Psycho 2 from 1972.
I'm sure it's good, but it's no Star Wars.
Oh.
77, I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, that probably got covered up.
It probably did. And I have from, when did you come up? 1994. That means this is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. Natural Born Killers.
I can't believe this movie is almost as old as I am.
Yeah. And from 2009, The Collector, which we'll be talking about those.
You know what's weird?
Yo.
I'm doing the less known ones this time.
Kinda, yeah. Well, Psycho 2 is pretty well known.
Well, kind of. I mean,
how soon?
I didn't know about it until.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising that you didn't know about Psychos 2, 3, and 4.
Well, I just watched Psycho and I was like, oh, and I didn't even care to figure out that there was sequels.
Obviously, we have our comparison, which is going to be on I think it's 1968 was the original.
Is it really that long?
It's been that long,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it.
Last House on the Left to the 2006, I think was when the remake was done.
2007.
Yeah, it was somewhere around.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, they're both good. We'll definitely be talking.
It's not a shot for shot though.
We have our Artist of the Week, which we will talk about. But first, I want to get into some motherfucking horror news.
Youth.
Nobody
died.
That I'm aware of.
Yay!
I have not heard or seen any.
Nobody died.
Buddy that had died. For Walking Dead fans, this is a convention that I literally just found out about last month, called the Walker Stalker Convention.
Walker Stalker Convention.
Which they just recently did down in Boston. There's going to be a bunch of them, I guess, throughout the country.
Okay.
Had I known about it earlier, I would have definitely set us up something so we could have gone. Not only were they doing that, but they were also getting the cast from the Boondock Saints back together because it's the 20th anniversary of the fucking Boondock Saints.
Anniversaries everywhere.
Oh! Talking about an anniversary, not horror related, but Disney related. Gargoyles, 20th anniversary is this year. Started out in 1994.
Guess who turned 53 the other day?
I don't know.
Really? He's the man.
The dude?
The dude.
From fucking that horrible movie?
No.
The Big Lebowski?
No.
Not that dude? Who?
No.
Who?
I can't think of his name now. You got so fucking sidetracked.
What movie was he in?
It was like a... I'm gonna hate myself when I figure this out.
Oh, wait, somebody did die.
Aw.
Casey Kasem died.
Oh, yeah, I found out
Shaggy
about that
died.
and I was like, Shaggy!
Shaggy died.
Shit.
What else was there? Oh!
He was in The Walking Dead.
Huh?
He was in the freaking... he was in like a bunch of freaking zombie movies and fucking... B-hits and fucking...
was it Savini? Tom Savini?
No!
You just said he was in a bunch of...
He was a bunch of like B movies.
Well, Tom Savini's done
in like the
every
80s.
fucking thing.
We had him in a review last time.
We had him in the review last time?
Yeah. We didn't review him, we reviewed like a movie.
Campbell? Bruce
yes.
Campbell?
He turned 53. I'm glad that's over.
Okay, so Bruce Campbell, happy belated birthday, I guess. What else did I have? Oh! This one I'm actually really stoked about. I can't tell you the company or when the movie's coming to theater or direct to DVD or whatever. I saw it as a like on Facebook because it's like anytime horror shit comes up, I tend to like it. Death Metal the movie.
I saw something about that.
Dude, it looks fucking awesome. The concept is such a great idea. It's an underground death metal band, and they actually kill their fans, and they record their screams and put it into their music, which is fucking awesome.
That sounds awesome.
The deaths are awesome. Like, there's one scene in the trailer, because they did put out like a 2-minute long trailer, where one guy puts his hand up, and these 2 fingers get cut off, so he looks like he's doing the metal horns, and I'm like, that's awesome! And there's a graphic novel to go along with it. I gotta find the graphic novel. I really, really want to see this. This looks like it's gonna be awesome. As our fans know, we're both metal fans. I love death metal, love black metal, all of it. So let's get into this.
I dabble into it.
Do you have any horror news that we didn't get into?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, so let's get into this.
But if I think of something, I'll just blurt it out.
All right, so do we want to? Yeah, we should start with the list, probably.
Yeah, we should start with the list.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
I'll let you go first because I'm excited about mine.
All right. Our top 5 list this time, I don't think either one of us really picked this. It just kind of was like, oh, we did this before. Let's do this. This sounds like a fun one.
Yeah.
This is our top 5 urban legends. Scary urban legends. Because there are urban legends that are just stupid out there. Like, I'm sure that there's something that I can't think of off the top of my head.
The freaking poster of freaking what's his face and 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
There's a dumb urban legend.
The Disney sexual exploitations in their imagery.
That is an urban legend though. That's true. It's there. I've seen it.
Yeah, they've been pointed out, but Disney tries to discredit it, like the Lion King sex. It's supposed to actually say SFX. You know, it's for the special effects team, and it's like, it definitely spells sex.
It's like, you guys are funny. Yeah, you just.
Alright, so anyway, number 5 on my list is The Well to Hell.
I know about this one.
Gotta love the rhyme.
The Well to Hell from Russians.
Yeah, no, Siberia.
You sure it's Siberia?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was Russia.
Well, I think Siberia is part of Russia. I'm not 100% sure on this, though. Anyway, a team
not too good on geography.
No, I'm not. A team of explorers, they go into Siberia and they start drilling. I think they said that it was like a 15.4 kilometer hole, which I'm guessing is pretty big.
I read something about 9 miles.
Yeah, probably like.
So it's like a 9-mile hole down.
Raven might actually know the statistic difference to that, being from Canada.
Hey. Anyway.
But as they've dug this, they actually open up a cavern, and they take a temperature reading, and it's over 1,000 degrees.
It's melting the bottom of the drill.
Yeah, the drill begins to melt. So they start putting in like audio equipment and everything like this. They only get like 17 seconds of
screams,
of just these horrifying screams. A bunch of people left, but some people did stick around to continue the experiment. Some kind of gas bursts out of it and somehow catches on fire. And when it does, it becomes these like demonic wings. They hear laughing, and some of the snow is scorched to say, "I have conquered" in Russian. So they believe that it's actually an opening to hell. If that's the case, why haven't these fuckers just poured out and destroyed the land? Why is there no zombie apocalypse?
That's why it's an urban legend.
Exactly. So there's you always have these questions. At number 4, The White Death. This is a tale that comes from Scotland. And it's about a girl who hates life to the point where she just wants to completely destroy any portion of her existence. She eventually commits suicide. Her family finds out about it. They grieve. Within a few days, all of her family members die.
Whoa, that's like the freaking King Tut's tomb.
Pretty much. But after you've heard this story, supposedly you'll hear a knocking at your door, and it just gets louder and louder until you open the door to find her ghost there to kill you so that you won't tell anyone else about the story. Obviously somebody lived because the story has continued on.
Not necessarily. They could have wrote it down really quick and then opened the door.
Lovecraftian, that's... I can hear slithering up the stairs.
Yeah.
There's the tentacle wrapping up on my... Oh! dot.
I like endings like that.
I'm okay with them, but it's become a parody of itself. It really has. Number 3, The Greek Soldier.
This one's cool.
This is a cool one. This is about obviously a Greek soldier during World War II times. The war has ended. He's heading home. He's going to marry his fiancée. However, at the same time, Greece is going through civil war. One of the factions gets a hold of him. They torture him and eventually kill him within a 5-day span. His ghost returns and promises virgin girls and widows that he will marry them and impregnate them. And once the baby's born, he sticks around for 5 days. After said 5 days are done, he completely disappears, leaving a note that says that he has returned from the dead strictly to spread his seed so that his children can avenge his murder.
Basically, the woman's having a ghost baby.
Yeah, I think that this... I don't know if this would technically be considered necrophilia or if it would be considered spectrophilia, because is he a ghost?
What's spectrophilia?
Spectrophilia is the having sexual intercourse with a ghost or having sexual tendencies while looking at yourself in a mirror.
I think it would be necrophilia because technically semen has to be physical.
Well, that's my thought too, but it says his ghost. It never said that his body came back, so it's really torn on that one for me. Number 2, this is one of the stories that actually really creeps me out. The Black-Eyed Kids.
Okay.
Obviously, these are not little kids who have been punched in the face.
And we're not talking about the Black-Eyed Peas when they're little kids.
Yeah, which my dad loved to throw that fucking joke out.
Did he?
Yeah, he actually did like 3 or 4 times when I talked about the Black-Eyed. When I said Black-Eyed Kids, he's like, "Did they hang out with the peas?" And I'm like, "No." Now the cool thing with this is there are sightings all around the world of these things. The big ones are actually here in the States. Texas and Pennsylvania are the 2 big ones.
Okay, nothing near here.
Well, Pennsylvania's not too far. It's like
far enough away where I hopefully won't see them.
I suppose. There's actually a really cool story about a guy who he worked at a gas station during high school. And now he's like a retired airman living down in Texas, or is an airman living down in Texas. And within that time frame, he actually saw the exact same black-eyed kid in both locations, the exact same one.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's
especially over a span of so many years.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy. But supposedly they'll come up and they'll ask to either use your phone or for a ride or whatever. And they look like normal people until you see their eyes. They are just pitch black, and they are like no emotion whatsoever. There's theories that they could be aliens or demons. Some people have even said that they might be fae folk.
I know what they are.
What?
The demons from the hole.
I don't think so. I honestly have an opinion. I do believe in the Black-Eyed Kids just because there's so many things about them. There's a lot of stories about them. I think that they're actually fae folk. I mean, like, if you think back to a lot of the legends of, like, fairy folk and such, they would be tricksters. They would be people who would play games on you and...
So just don't believe them if you see them.
Well, it's not so much that. I think it's, you don't have a choice of believing in them. I think that they are physical beings kind of thing.
Well, no, I meant, like, believe them when they talk to you and say, hey, I need a ride. You're like...
My thing is, though, that the whole, can I use your phone thing, that would have been good, like... in the 1980s, because nobody carried cell phones.
Well, now cell phones are sort of.
If I run into one of these guys, I should be asking to borrow their cell phone because like every teenager has the best cell phone out there now.
Yeah, you got these ones that are like all like flat screen, like this fucking big, and it's like,
yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ, what am I gonna do with this damn thing?
Number 1 for me comes from Japan, and this is the Kichisaki Oni, also known as the slit mouth woman.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
running out of battery.
We are running out of battery. We are always fucking running out of battery.
I got the batteries.
Woo, we got batteries. So we might end up doing this again.
Let's not rush through it, shall we?
Huh?
Let's not rush through it. If we have to do this again.
Yeah. Kichisaki Oni is a spirit from Japan. There's actually a lot of different thoughts about
I
this.
don't care, dude. It's still scary.
Some people say that it was a feudal era woman who her samurai jealous husband killed her and cut her mouth. Others say that it was done back in the 70s. The creepiest part of this fucking case is the part that there was a medical examiner who found files that dated back to the 70s about a serial killing woman who would chase and kill children wearing a surgical mask and a long coat. And she was hit by a car and killed by a car, and when they picked her up, her mouth was split.
That's creepy.
But her ghost apparently will show up to children and say, "Do you think I'm beautiful?" If you say yes, she will remove the mask and she'll smile her wide, cut mouth smile with her tongue hanging out and say, "Even now." And if you say yes, again, she'll slash your mouth with a pair of scissors or a razor. If you say no, she'll take said scissors or whatever and cut you in half. Supposedly, there is a new part to the mythology where if you offer her candy, she'll become confused and it'll give you enough time to run away. Or you can say, you're just average or so-so, and this kind of confuses her too. But I guess the oldest way of confusing her in order to get away is asking, well, am I also beautiful? And this will completely throw her off.
Yeah,
so that's my list. That's my list. You're up.
Yay! Okay. Number 5. We're going with Bloody Mary for number 5.
Which everybody knows.
Everybody knows it. Everybody's tried it. I haven't.
I was going to say,
I'm a wuss. But either way,
there's so many variations.
Fairly frightening.
I've heard people say you got to do it 3 times with lit candles. You've got to do it completely in the dark.
I've heard it
5
completely
times.
in the dark, and then
I've heard spin around.
People are like, "Oh, it's this person,
times.
it's this person, it's this other person," and that.
The actual legend behind it is a
comes from
English queen.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have tried.
You sure it was English, not like Scottish?
No, it's an English queen. She would kill people who would not convert to Protestant.
Oh, okay.
However, a lot of people have tried to associate it with Countess Bathory, and it has nothing to do with Countess Bathory.
I did know about the queen.
Yeah,
all that. That's where it came.
Yeah, the bloody.
She killed so many people.
Yeah, the bloody Queen Mary.
Then she got hung.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. I believe so.
All right, number 4. Lover. I'm calling this one the Lover's Lane boyfriend.
I've heard it called the boyfriend suicide or the boyfriend death.
Either way.
And this is a story that actually started in Paris.
Oh, did it start in Paris?
Yes, I found out that it started in Paris.
All right. Well, I've heard multiple accounts, even one here in New Hampshire with us.
Yes.
A little farther north.
Yep. Up in like Littleton or
ish area. I guess there's a nice spot where you can like park and go parking. But either way, boyfriend goes out to take a piss because his girlfriend's not putting out and doesn't come back. And so she starts freaking out because she hears little squeaking and scratches above the car. And all that
and then she notices that there's somebody hiding out in the bushes.
Yeah, and so she gets in the driver's seat, turns the car on, and drives off. And as she drives off, she realizes she just hung her boyfriend.
Yeah, because the squeaking, come to find out, was his shoes screeching across the top of the car.
So, that one I've heard where she waits until morning and then drives herself home. And then before, like, she decides she's going to drive herself home. She gets in, and then she starts driving off, then she sees her boyfriend.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. That would be a little more interesting.
Like, she didn't see the guy drive off.
Alright, number 3.
The spontaneous human combustion.
Which
is freaky for me because it can happen anytime.
Everybody has at least heard of.
Actually, I heard of it like 3 or 4 years ago. I read about it in a book.
I heard about it actually when I was really young. I used to be obsessed with with shows like UFO Files and Unsolved Mysteries and shit like that.
Unsolved Mysteries is cool.
I think I saw it for the first time on Unsolved Mysteries, and they were talking about it, and I was like, I don't really care for fire in general. Like, I like being cold and everything, so...
This is the ultimate thing for you pyromaniacs out there. Set yourself on fire.
Well, setting yourself on fire and then just randomly bursting into flames
is two different things. I meant like your body just setting on fire.
But yeah, I mean, I can understand why spontaneous combustion would be scary. And there's, no scientific proof saying that it can't happen. Because everything that's technically needed is there. We as humans have a heat source, we have oxygen, and we have fuel that could be used. It's just how the hell does it happen?
One thing hits the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Supposedly the hands and feet are left. The cases. That's what I've read. That.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The feet are there, and the hands just fall off from where they were.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like the eyeballs will be unscorched. I mean, there's.
And it'd be weird because it's so hot it burns bone.
Yeah.
So it's strange.
Number 2.
2. Oh, people can lick 2.
This is an old.
This is a really old one, but nonetheless still scary.
And
still a
this
favorite.
actually, I think, was it in the first or the second Urban Legend movie? Because this was actually in one of the Urban Legend films. I think it was Final Cut, which was the second one.
Second one, but I'm not sure. Either way, that the daughter's parents go out to the city or town, or depending on how old you want to date this.
Yep.
And she's left home with the dog for overnight.
She hears a noise.
She hears a dripping noise.
Yeah, gets freaked out.
And goes and finds
she puts her hand down to make sure that the dog's still there, and she feels the dog lap her hand.
Yeah.
So everything's okay. She goes to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up and she goes to the bathroom to, do her morning thing, and she finds the dog hanging by its own entrails from the shower rod. And written on the mirror is, people can lick too.
I've read a different one.
You read a different one?
Yeah, she woke up to dripping noises and went and found out it was the tub was dripping.
Oh, really?
So she twisted the knob or whatever, made it so it didn't drip, and then she went back to bed. And then she woke up again hearing another dripping noise from the kitchen. It was coming from the sink.
Oh, really?
And so she turned made it stop, and then she went back to bed. And then in the morning she woke up to another dripping noise, and it was coming from the cabinet. She opened the cabinet, and the dog was sitting there dead with a written in blood.
The blood, yeah.
Behind the dog saying.
See, I've never heard the cabinet one. My last one where she wakes up in the morning and hears the dripping in the bathroom. And that she finds the dog, literally, its stomach's been split open.
Either way, she finds the dog and people can lick too.
Yeah, great. That was a really cool one.
Either way, it's creepy.
I think that was one of my first urban legends that I ever heard. And you're number 1.
The angel statue. This is my favorite one, because it's just creepy.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that's fairly new, too.
Yeah, it kind of runs along with the story of the killer in the house with the babysitter and the kids upstairs.
Of course, was used in When a Stranger Calls.
Right.
Or I almost said one missed call.
But instead of the killer calling.
Now this is also known not only as the angel statue, but the clown statue.
The clown statue. I like the angel statue because it's a bit more like it could be like a very ritzy place. That's how I think of it, and you would expect them to have angel statues.
Babysitter, watching two I'm guessing fairly young kids.
I guess so.
She puts them to bed. She's looking for a TV. The only TV is in the parents' room, so she calls them and says, "Hey, is it okay if I
cover up?
If I watch TV?"
We'll watch TV.
And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so she goes in and she notices that outside
the window.
Yeah, in the angel one, it's outside. And she says, "Is it okay if I close the curtains? The angel statue is, kind of creeping me out." Whereas in the clown one, he's actually in...
He's in the kid's room, isn't he?
No, he's in the parents' bedroom.
Oh, okay.
And so she calls, like I said...
She calls the parents.
And they say, dial 911, get out,
they don't even give her
the
a
kids,
reason.
get out of the house.
And she doesn't even... I think she
freaks out. She does get them. And then once they're outside...
She calls, and then they're like, we don't have an angel statue.
Yeah, we don't... Although in the angel statue one, there's a different ending, because in the angel statue they're killed, but when the police and everything show up, they're dead.
She calls the cops, and they're like, "All right, get out of the house." Yeah. And she goes, and I'm not sure if she finds the kids dead or the cops find the kids dead. Either way, the kids are dead.
Remember, it's been a while since I've heard that.
But that one's by far the creepiest, because that could actually happen.
I disagree. I still say Kichisaki Oni is definitely scary.
Kichisaki Oni scared the shit out of me because of the fucking tire commercial. The fucking...
pops
out of fucking nowhere and it scares the shit out of me.
It's such an odd commercial, too.
Why would you... That's like the freaking ghost car commercial that came from Sweden.
Did you ever see the... talking about car commercials from Japan, did you ever see the Kia one where they used the Titans from Attack on Titan?
No.
That's really cool. I'll have to show that to you. That was really, really cool. All right, so that's that, and now we get to the reviews. Do you want to start with this?
Sure. I don't have any videos because I watch Hulu.
Fuck Hulu. Actually, I don't mind Hulu. I like Hulu a hell of a lot better than Netflix.
But actually, one of the movies did come off of Netflix. But either way,
fucking Netflix.
I'm gonna do House or Hasu
from '77.
From '77.
Again, this tried to compete with Star Wars. Obviously, it's
can't compete with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean,
not the original anyway.
The original
episode 4.
Episode 4 through
6.
Through 6, which actually I didn't realize that the first Family Guy one there, Blue Harvest. That was actually a knock on what was supposed to be Empire Strikes Back's original name, was Blue Harvest.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I read about that.
And I guess that it was also a reference to the moisture farm that Luke worked on / lived on.
Yeah.
So there was like all kinds of fucking nods to that. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize all this shit.
They're super Star Wars nerds over there.
I still would say that the best one is in something Dark Side with the Yoda training, and he's asking him about Teen Wolf. And he says, I would also take the scene at the end where the guy has his dick out and he's like, what? That's on Mojo list of what the fuck.
I actually, like, after watching the hour episode, I was like, I need to go on YouTube. And I went on YouTube and found it. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, the guy's like,
he's got it out. He's like, kind of rubbing it. It's like, oh, gross, dude. But still, that's kind of weird. Why would you do that in a movie?
He's definitely got his donger hanging out.
Okay, anyway, got fined for that?
Huh?
Think you got fined for that?
Probably not. Nobody even noticed it at that point because the credits start rolling. Okay, so anyway, to Hasu or House, whichever you wish to call it.
All right. So it's basically about the story about a girl. She was supposed to go over her dad's house for the weekend, but come to find out, her dad's girlfriend was supposed to be there, and she doesn't really like her.
Where the hell's the mom in all this?
Mom's dead.
Oh, okay.
So she decides to go over Aunt's house with some of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know until she gets there. Aunt is dead.
Oh, nice.
And the house is haunted.
Okay.
And her and her friends get locked in, and they all start disappearing and dying in these really mysterious, somewhat Japanese ways. The reason I say Japanese because you expect it from Japanese.
Okay. Now, obviously, with this being 77, this is the precursor to things like Rinyu, Ju-on,
right?
One Missed Call.
I would say it's definitely
It's like the forefather to those.
Yeah, you can watch those and you can see a bit of this movie in those.
Kind of like if you were to watch something like The Devil's House, and you can see hints towards like Amityville.
Right.
Like that. Okay.
So it's I will say it's a good movie for those unusual the people that like to watch unusual horror movies.
Would you place it as good as Ju-on or Rinyu or any of those? Is it as good, or is it did it hold up? I guess is what I'm saying. Or was it one
it held up
where
it held up in a way.
Like, this is so fucking cheesy.
Well, you can tell it's definitely a little bit aged.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, come on, it's like 30 years old now.
37.
Either way.
Holy shit,
so
it's 40 years old.
it's an older movie. You can tell some of the filming is a bit off, and for English subtitles, of course, Japanese to English doesn't translate so well sometimes.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of figure it out in your mind.
Yeah, you gotta understand the puns and shit, because Japan loves their puns.
Yeah, they love their puns, but some of us Americans are just like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's definitely a...
But I'm not a big Japanese watcher, and you know this.
Yeah, you don't do a lot of anime.
But this one I actually really sat and I enjoyed it.
Oh, so it was a good flick. I'll definitely have to look into this, because I've actually never even heard of it, which surprised me when you said, oh, it's from 77. I'm like, what? Because I've seen a pretty fair amount. I thought that I had seen, not everything, but...
Almost everything.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Especially foreign ones, because I love all of the 70s ones from Italy and England and Japan, so I'm surprised I haven't seen this one.
I think that would fit you very well, because like I said, it's an unusual haunted house movie.
I will definitely have to look into this, because I really, really want to check this out now.
So, but I give it, it holds up in the way, it's not a great movie. I would watch it again, sure.
But let me ask, does it hold up better than the fucking American remakes? Does it hold up better than
I don't think there was an American remake.
No. I'm talking like The Ring and The Garage.
Jesus.
Does it beat those out?
It beats the American, I would say. It gets like an 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
It's a pretty good
so it's a good flick.
Yeah, but then again, this is coming from me, and some movies I like, you don't.
That's true. But this does sound really interesting, and I tend to like the Japanese versions. I don't usually like the American versions.
You know what? I watch the American versions, and then I figure out there's Japanese versions
There's
too.
Only like a few of the American remake ones that I liked. Like I did like the Uninvited, which was America's remake of The Tale of Two Sisters, which I loved. Tale of Two Sisters.
Wasn't The People Under the Stairs also an American remake?
No, that was a Wes Craven original, which was one of his best movies in my opinion.
That's a freaky movie.
But another one was like Shutter, which I loved the Japanese
awesome.
one, and I loved the American one.
The American one was really done very well.
There's two that I'm glad that they have not done American remakes of, which is The Hypnotist.
Okay.
Because the Japanese one is phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. And the other one is Uzumaki.
Uzumaki.
Which is about a whole town and people start becoming obsessed with spirals.
Cool.
It's a really fucking weird movie.
That sounds cool.
I'll have to see if I've got that, because if I do, I'll definitely have to put it up for the review at some point. All right, so I'm up, and I'm going to start with the older of the two from 1994. I can't believe that it's its 20th anniversary. Natural Born Motherfucking Killers.
I love this movie.
This movie is so good. You've got who is it? Woody Harrelson.
Yep.
And I can never remember.
Julian Lewis, I almost want to say.
I think right. Juliette Lewis. So
Juliette.
Who I'm not a big fan of her.
I haven't seen her in many movies.
I do love Woody Harrelson, who's been in obviously Zombieland, which a lot of horror fans love.
Actually, that was a good movie.
But you've got other people in here like Rodney Dangerfield, Tom Sizemore, Tommy Lee Jones from Men in Black, Robert Downey Jr. Fucking Iron Man is in this.
Before he was Iron Man, back when he was still having his addictions.
Yes.
Unfortunately enough.
This is
still a good movie.
I don't know if I can really call this a horror movie or really a thriller. It's really kind of
it's got the gore. Like an action movie, but it's got like all that gore.
I was gonna say it's almost
you a bit here
it's almost like if Tarantino had tried to do a horror film.
Who's it done by? I could have sworn it was a Tarantino film.
Oliver Stone.
Oh, okay. It feels like a Tarantino film.
It definitely does, and it's got the gore behind it. It's got the violence behind it. So it does have, and I mean there is some horror imagery to it, because there's like when they meet the Indian, the soothsayer.
Yep.
And you see the demons. So there is some horror imagery, and the fact that they get Robert Downey Jr. to, kind of join them and then allow them to kill him is kind of weird. But I have to actually put this little side note in about Natural Born Killers.
Okay.
The youngest serial killer in history is actually a Canadian serial killer. She was a 12-year-old girl.
The fuck?
She started.
Them Canadians are surprising.
She killed her parents and brother with her. I think he was like 21 or 22-year-old boyfriend. There was like a 10-year gap.
Oh, okay. That's kind of gross.
And they liked, darker heavy metal music, and they claimed to be part of the goth scene and hung out with other quote-unquote mall goths and everything.
It's ridiculous.
Well, they actually quoted that Natural Born Killers is the greatest love story ever made.
Okay.
So there was kind of this darker aesthetic around it. And you guys actually want to find the book, you can find it on Amazon. It's called The Runaway Devil, and it talks about the whole killing and everything. Great book. Natural Born Killers, I recommend this to anybody, whether you're a horror fan or not. This, and it's been a long time since I watched it, so I was I'm gonna have to pick this. What do you think about when they do the flashback of how they got together and they kill the
best?
The
best.
It is one of the best scenes.
Yeah, her dad's Rodney Dangerfield, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought
he's an asshole.
I was watching it and I didn't even expect Rodney to show up, and he's like right there. I'm like, oh my god, that's Rodney Dangerfield, and he's an asshole. I'm like, oh my god, I've never seen him like this ever.
He's such a prick. And Tommy Lee Jones does a great job in this, because he is usually kind of.
Isn't he one of the cops?
He's the sheriff that captures them.
Yeah.
Because throughout most of the movie, Woody Harrelson's got like long, almost metalhead hippie kind of hair. And then at the very end, he shaves himself bald before he's supposed to be executed. But then there's the jailbreak, and they just start like annihilating everyone.
It's nuts.
It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. What do you you give Natural Born Killers? Because you've obviously seen it.
Oh my goodness. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to put it too low.
Well,
I give it like a. I don't know, dude. It's a 10. I love it.
It's a 10?
Yeah.
See, I as a movie itself, I give it a 10. Yes, but because it's not really a horror film, I do have to knock off some points, and I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right. I was thinking 9, but I was like, but it's such an awesome movie.
It is. That's why I said it. Just as a movie of itself.
Right, it's a 10 as a movie, but a 8 as a horror movie.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's not really.
We can do that. We can bend rules like that.
We can fucking bend it. It's our goddamn show. It's our rules. If you guys don't like it, fuck you. No, don't actually believe that. We need our viewers. Anyway.
We depend on you a little bit. No, we don't. But anyway, we love our viewers.
Europe with 1972's Psycho 2. Which shows Norman getting out of the loony bin.
Out of the loony bin, and he meets up with his psychiatrist.
Yes.
Or not psychiatrist, well, his doctor. Either way.
Which is Hannibal Lecter.
Yep.
I don't think it actually is, but...
No,
I don't think it's Anthony Hopkins.
No, it's not. And you almost caught me off guard because freaking the guy that plays Norman Bates is called Anthony Perkins.
Yes.
And so when you said Hopkins, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I actually had to try to think of it. Like, wait, no, it's Perkins, not Hopkins.
That would have been awesome.
Either way,
that would have been completely awesome.
Yeah, having the psychiatrist be Anthony Hopkins.
That would have been rad as
It's like, is there a connection?
Dude, do I hear fan fiction? I would definitely write that.
I would write that.
I would write that.
All right, but anyway, continuing on, and he goes back to the hotel. And his house, and he's supposed to.
And it's all like disheveled and shit. 'Cause he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, and it's got this like drunk asshole freaking kind of taking over the place.
Yes.
Over the hotel part anyway, and finds out later on the road. Norman finds out that he was running some sort of smut business, not smut, but like drugs and that kind of stuff out of the back.
Yeah.
So he fires him. So which is really awesome. But anywho, continuing on. And Norman gets a job at this diner.
Yes.
And so he works at the diner for, I think, only like a couple of days and then ends up quitting because of the now fired
other guy.
I think his last name's Tony? Either way. And it just goes on and on.
Eventually, he obviously goes back to his murderous ways.
Towards the end.
Well, yeah, because obviously it's Psycho 2, and then there's Psycho 3 and Psycho 4.
And surprisingly, up to Psycho 3, not 4, but 3, it's Anthony Perkins, who's done 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Which I think was good that they kept the same actor.
Yeah, I mean,
and which kept it a more
it's not
nostalgic.
Like, it's not like Jason where you can just throw somebody behind a mask or a leather face.
Right, it has to be the guy.
It has to be that person.
And actually, there was one more person that returned.
Really?
Yes. The freaking the sister from Psycho.
Oh, really?
That went to the hotel looking for.
That's right. I forgot about that.
The woman that got killed.
That's
I
right.
can't think of their names. Either way,
I forgot all about that.
She shows up again, and she is the one trying to get Norman back in prison because she believes he's still psycho.
Well, he is. Duh.
Well, he is, but it's her fault that he went back to that way.
Yeah, because he's a fucking loon. And she, being the dumb,
well, she freaking put on a black dress and a wig and everything, dressed up like his mother, and stood in front of windows.
I was gonna say, and that stupid bitch who shows up and is like, you know what, this guy who's finally out of the loony bin and is kind of normal, I'm gonna fuck with him and make him retarded again.
Well, it was the daughter and her mother, and the mother was the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
And in mid-movie, the daughter actually starts having feeling for Norman. But,
oh, nice.
Yeah, and so you got that bit of, like, ooh type thing going on. But then, and she tries to stop her mother, but it's already too late because someone killed her mom, and it was actually her trying to stop her mom.
So it wasn't Norman that did it, it was...
Norman didn't kill until the very end when...
And he kills the daughter, I'm guessing.
No, he kills his mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because... supposedly the woman from the original one wasn't his mother, it was his aunt.
Oh, really?
And his mom was in the loony bin.
Really?
And his mom got out and was working at the diner,
Oh, wow.
And so he went to the diner, and she saw him, and
you can tell that I haven't.
That was a twist.
You can tell I haven't seen this.
When I saw that, and then that twist came up. I was like, okay, that kind of seemed a bit thrown in.
It probably was.
But it kind of made it work.
It probably was. All right, so what do you give Psycho 2? It's been a while since I've seen it.
As a sequel, I mean, it's not Hitchcock by any means.
Shit.
It's not Hitchcock.
No shit.
But it's very nostalgic, and it's very reminiscent of Hitchcock.
Did you love it? Did you hate it?
I liked it.
Okay, so what do you give it?
I give it like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10.
Well, which is it?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I'm going to be the first one to say, I remember watching this. I don't remember much because it was, in my opinion, a forgettable film. I didn't think the performances were up to par.
Well, people have aged.
Oh, wow. I could care less if they aged. I mean, look at Robert Englund. He's aged, and he still rocks fucking Freddy Krueger.
That's true.
Doug Bradley's aged, and he's fucking awesome as Pinhead. So, no, I don't care about age factor because that's bullshit. Bruce Campbell could still rock Ash.
He could still rock Ash, yeah.
I'm going to say right now that Psycho 2 gets a 2 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Because it's just not a memorable movie for me.
I'm definitely not going to do 3, though.
You're not going to do 3?
That just seems ridiculous.
I kind of want you to do 3 now just because I want to see if you enjoy 3.
I don't know, dude.
Alright, so I'm up with, from 2009, The Collector.
Very nice.
Written and produced by the dudes who did Saw 4, 5, and 6, as well as Insidious and such.
Insidious is awesome.
It's about a dude who is kind of down on his luck, so he decides that he's going to steal from these people.
Okay.
And while doing so, he actually stumbles across a really unusual serial killer because, you know, unlike most who just kill and take something small, no, this dude is taking full-on humans and putting them into, like, wet jars for wet specimens, like, you know, a shark fetus or stuff like this. But he's not just doing that either. Like, he'll take certain parts, like he'll take a head or he'll take an arm or a leg, and he's doing all this, and then eventually he's creating all these traps to kill all these people. He's not doing a lot of it hand to hand. And his mask is amazing. It's like this leather. It almost reminds me of like a luchador mask, like a Mexican wrestler mask.
Kind of tied together in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you can actually see it.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
I fucking loved this movie. The first time I saw it, I was like, it's gonna be just a Saw
another serial killer movie.
And I fucking adore this movie. It is so good, and I was surprised with how good it was. Because you don't really see the killer, and you're actually left to believe that it's the guy who has come in. Like, you're kind of thinking that it's him.
Maybe he's got dual personality.
Well, you find out that he's been into a mental institution before because he's got emotional problems.
All right.
And in the very first scene, you see him, like, popping pills, so you're not quite sure.
Huh.
They did make a sequel called The Collection, which I haven't seen yet, and it does It does have the guy return.
Yeah, I have it.
I'll have to get on my butt and see that at some point. But
at least I think I have it, or at least my mom has it.
I think that's it for the reviews. Oh wait, I haven't given my review for The Collector. Have you seen The Collector?
A while ago, when it first came out.
Yeah.
My mom watched it, and she was freaked out by it, and. When did this come out? Like 90?
2009.
Oh, 2009?
Yeah.
Why was I thinking like 98?
I don't fucking know.
Either way, I didn't sit and watch it. Like, I sat and, I got in the middle of it.
Yep.
I'll probably end up watching it again, though. But from what I saw, it seemed pretty damn good.
Yeah, I really like this movie. And I give The Collector... I give it a 7 out of 10. I can't give it any higher at this point just because it's still kind of in its infancy. They've only made one sequel. I'd kind of like to see it become a full trilogy.
We'll see how it ages.
That too. So, there's that. And now we're on to our comparison of the 68 Last House on the Left
and the 2006.
Compared to the 2006 or 2007.
Either way. The mid-2000s.
Now, obviously, the story didn't really change too much on this.
No, it's the same.
It's pretty much the same
idea,
story,
the same
except
girl.
for in the original, it was two friends going to see a concert, and I think it's hilarious, a death metal concert.
And
in the new one, it's a girl with her family on vacation.
Yep. They kind of made it more family friendly.
No, they did not.
They did in that aspect.
Because in the original, they were raped, they're tortured, and both girls are killed.
Yep.
Where in the remake, one girl is killed, one girl is raped, and in the remake, the rape scene is so fucking brutal compared to the original.
It's so long.
It is. It's like 4 minutes. And
in the original, it's like a minute or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's very brief in the original.
You get a hint that she's being, and then like in the new one, it's like bam, there she is.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't cut the original or the new one at all with that, and rape scenes in general just unnerve me so much.
They're uncomfortable.
And I mean, I get why they put them in films, especially films like this, because it's a whole reason of the revenge killing and everything. Both have amazing kill scenes. Both have absolutely great art direction and special effects and such. Which one do you go with on which is better, and for what reason?
The newer one, because it's a bit more graphic.
You go with the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more real, I guess.
I respectfully disagree. I do like the new one. I gotta go with the original because at the time they didn't have a lot of the special effects that we have today. And one scene that has always stuck with me is when the psychos are actually screaming at the one girl for her to piss her pants. Mm-hmm. And they're just, they've got the knife to her and they're like, piss your pants, piss your pants. They didn't have water bladders like we have in today. So they actually had to have her piss her pants. And that is one of the...
It's devotion right there.
Most horrifying scenes of the movie. And the main bad guy, who I can't think of what the hell his name is off the top of my head, he recently passed away within like the last couple of years.
Did he?
Yes.
That sucks.
And he ranks up there as, like, in my opinion, one of the greatest horror villains, because he's just so psychotic.
We should make a top 5 list of that.
Horror villains. That's a cool idea.
Villains.
Yeah, we might do that at some point.
It's in the list.
So I go with the original, and you go the remake. So that's that. That takes care of all that. We don't have any book reviews. Sorry, guys.
We're in the middle of shit.
I am working on one, so hopefully it'll be done by the next episode. And it just leads to our artist.
Okay. I didn't let you know.
Okay.
I do cocaine.
Great. That's all we fucking do is you doing fucking lines while we're doing the show. And that just leaves the artist of the week, who is your choice.
Yes. And you don't agree with me on what I say. I say she's a scream queen.
I don't agree because it's not like her whole career is based on...
No, but it started that way.
Yeah, but she's only been in 2 franchises that I can think of off the top of my head.
2 franchises that are well known. At least one.
I was going to say really one is well known, the other one not so much. Because we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's a great actress, don't get me wrong. I do like her as an actor.
I like some of her comedy stints too.
I could give her take on a lot of her comedy stuff, but...
Trading Places.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. But I do like...
The classic.
I mean, even though I constantly say, it's not as good as Lord Zombies, and it's not. I do like the original Halloween. I liked Halloween 2, and she eventually returns in
H2O.
H2O. She was in Resurrection.
Yeah, that was weird though. It was just like, I mean, they were alright movies, and it's like she just pops up. It's like, whoa, welcome back.
Well, yeah, there's a reason, and they explain that to you. I think she actually was in a couple of other ones too, here and there, but I don't really remember. And she was in Prom Night, of course.
I like Prom Night. I like the original.
I liked the original. I liked the remake too. The remake wasn't so horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible.
It still left much to the imagination for the end, I think.
I mean, there are some really great remakes out there that I think did the movies justice, and there are ones that certainly did not.
No.
Although I still got to see the newest version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre to say which version is the best. Because there was obviously the original from the 70s, then you had the remake that was done in 2002, I think, with Jessica Biel. I almost said Jessica Alba, but it wasn't Jessica Alba. No, and then you had the one that literally just came out, like, what was it, last year?
Something like that.
And I never got around to seeing it. I was so fucking pissed. Because obviously, where the fuck is he? Right there. Right there. I love Texas Chainsaw. I have Leatherface showing out right there. And I would love to meet the original Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen.
Yeah.
I've met Andrew Bernardsky, who played Leatherface in the first remake. What a douchebag.
Really?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I actually was sitting in a bar with one of the guys from oh no, I can't think of what band it is. But I was sitting there with one of the bands that were there at a Rock and Shock, and we were just shooting the shit and everything, and he comes up and I'm like, oh hey, you're Andrew Bernardsky, and he's like, yeah. And, I introduce myself, and the other guy introduces himself, and all of a sudden he starts talking about himself as Leatherface. He's like, oh, Leatherface really likes heavy metal. Leatherface likes Killswitch Engage. He's going on and on and on.
That's just strange.
And once you finally
this guy retarded?
Well, once he finally leaves, both of us just look at each other and we're like, what a fucking douche.
You sure he's not mentally disabled?
I think he is, which might be why he was Leatherface.
Because he was mentally disabled?
Yeah, because Leatherface.
Either that or just being a douchebag and acting mentally disabled.
Well,
because Leatherface was.
He's an idiot. But, yeah, I'm okay with James.
Yeah, if you watch this, you suck.
I can't say he sucks as an actor, because I did like him as Leatherface, but
as a person,
he just comes across as such a moron. But anyway, yeah, I dug her movies that she was in horror-wise, and like I said, some of her comedy stuff, I guess, is okay. I can give her take on it.
I didn't like the.
Is she in the other horror films that we're forgetting?
Most likely.
I'm sure she
was in some B-rate stuff.
Probably.
I mean, Prom Night was pretty B-rate.
Yeah, I mean...
It got big later. It had a cult following.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alright, so that, I think, is pretty much the end of the show.
I would say so.
I can't think of anything else that we can talk about.
I haven't thought of any news at all. So, no birthdays beyond that, no more deaths, thank God.
No, I can't think of any deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Besides the world screwing up itself, that's about it.
Yeah,
that's every day.
That's every day. So, all right, so join us for next.
Oh, did we talk about the new Slenderman stabbing?
No, there's another one.
There's another one. If you haven't already heard about it, we will inform you about this new Slenderman.
This one is in Ohio.
Wannabe Slenderman stabbing.
Yeah, this one is a girl 13.
Or so she tried to stab her mom. It didn't work, but she tried.
It was around the same age frame. I know that.
If this becomes a trend, I actually, you know what? It might be a good idea, just for one reason.
I kind of
gets rid of all the stupid people.
Speaking of Slenderman, this is completely somewhat off of our base topic. I know that there's a creepypasta for it, but it's an actual thing. I actually looked into it. It's part of the Hindu belief or Buddhist belief, I think.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a tulpa?
Briefly, maybe.
It's the concept of putting so much energy into an idea that idea eventually.
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen horror movies based on.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror movies that have used that idea.
Actually, I was watching American Dad last night that was based off of this.
But the idea is that you actually create a duplicate of yourself as your subconscious.
Yeah.
And if you break that concentration on it, it eventually will take over and drive you insane, kind of a thing.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who are saying, because if you look into other mythologies, like when you and I talked about Slenderman before, I didn't believe Slenderman. I was like, yeah, it's just a creepypasta thing. But there's so many tales. Like there's the one in Scotland about the tall man who will lure children off of paths and into the woods. There's Der Grossman in Germany. There's the Black One in Ireland.
He's everywhere. He just has many names.
The Wendigo here in America. That's a North American tale.
Well, I know the Wendigo has different tellings.
Yeah, there's a lot of different tellings.
Like supposedly they get dragged into the sky.
Yeah, and I think that Slenderman, in my opinion, is a tulpa. I think that there's just so much energy fed into this idea from around the world that it's eventually is becoming a legitimate thing.
Right.
Because, I mean, think about it. Faith healers, or people who have cancer or things like that, if they have positive thinking, they're like, we're going to beat this. They do.
Yeah. That's what health is all about.
I completely believe in the power of energy.
Yeah.
And the power of thought.
It's been proven.
And the power of thought.
If you think happily,
if you think about it, Slenderman is a worldwide phenomenon. Whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, you are putting energy into reading the stories, creating fan fictions, fan art,
You're making your own belief.
Video games. All of these things are going into it.
I think there's another one coming out.
There's a third Slender game.
Oh, we're not even gonna get into video games because E3 just passed and I'm loaded with information.
Well, you've got Slender the 8 Pages.
You got Slender the Arrival.
Slender the Origin, which was the third one, and there's a fourth one coming out.
Yeah.
I never played.
I played 8 Pages. Oh.
I got 8 Pages actually on my iPod.
That was frightening.
And I played.
The Arrival?
The Arrival. I've never played Origins, and I really
never played Origins. I've seen The Arrival being played. Like
I'm getting a new desktop, by the way, so I'm going to download
actually
as soon as I.
For you horror gamers, there's actually a video game that came out of full beta.
Okay.
It's. I think it's called something that What Walks in the Dark or something.
Oh, the
baby
new
one.
Yes, the new one.
Yeah, you're a toddler baby almost.
Yeah, it looks fucking
with a freaking creepy ass teddy bear.
It looks horrifying.
It is. I've watched. I got halfway through a Let's Play and I freaked out.
You and I are going to talk about this.
We'll talk about this later, but
we're going to get into what's going to be coming up for next week's episode. What do you got going on next week?
I have ideas. I got to look up to see if we've done them already.
I don't believe we have.
But I want to do the Blair Witch Project, and if not,
I know we haven't done Blair Witch Project.
And if not, then I want to do the second one, even though it's terrible.
Okay, so Book of Shadow.
Right, and Scream.
And Scream. Okay.
I'll be doing some '90s.
My two.
Scream stuff.
One is a request. I'm finally getting around to it. Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Which I think is going to be like our first zombie flick, actually.
Really?
I don't think we've done a zombie flick yet. And my other one is one that I am really looking forward to watching and reviewing for the show, and it is Escape from Tomorrow.
Sounds awesome.
Which that's the one I was telling you about the whole guerrilla filming in Disneyland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The one that Disney tried to go after.
They originally had the lawsuit, but then they dropped it. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to doing that one.
That
one's been sitting in my pile to watch for a while. So all right, have fun.
We're almost out of battery. Oh my god, we gotta change batteries after this.
We do. Later, dudes.
Bye.